Good evening and welcome to Have I Got News For You? I'm Mel Giedroyc. In the news this week, after some of his constituents are kidnapped on holiday in the Amazon, Ed Davey goes in to negotiate. In Washington, the cabinet nominations continue as Donald Trump introduces his pick for the Department of Noise Abatement and Control. And at a black market in London, one man tries to haggle for a new chimney sweep. On Ian's team tonight is a journalist and ITV's deputy political editor who says her biggest mistake was forgetting to press record when she interviewed Barack Obama. And her second biggest was remembering to do it when she interviewed Keir Starmer. Please welcome Anushka Asthana. And with Paul tonight's a stand-up comedian who once appeared in an advert with David Beckham. I don't know which one. If it's David Beckham, it could be anything from luxury cars to dog-worming tablets. Please welcome Jamie MacDonald. We'll begin with the bigger news stories of the week. Paul and Jamie.
Yes.
Right.
Here is yours.
OK, so we got Joe and Jill Biden walking across the beach. He's stumbling on the sand a little bit.
He's had a few.
Hunter Biden looking a bit worried, walking around the back of a group of people. Donald Trump hitting the golf ball. And somebody with a big handmade sign of "Lock Biden Up."
Yeah, I get that, yeah. Is it about the pardon that Joe Biden said he was never going to give his son, and now, just before the end of his presidency, he's going to give him it?
But he's let him off for any offence that he might be found guilty of within the whole 10-year period, whatever it is.
Yes.
But it does mean now no one can stop Trump pardoning anyone he feels.
But he would have done that anyway, though, wouldn't he?
That's probably true, but as a Democrat, I think Biden's final legacy will be that no one will ever vote for the Democrats again.
Because of that?
Yeah, well, 'cause they say, you know, you were meant to be the honest party. You didn't let people off for no reason. You promised you wouldn't.
Well, you know what kids are like? It's all nip, nip, Dad, pardon me, Dad. Pardon me, I'll fucking go on then. Your pardon, shut up.
Yeah. And don't expect anything else for Christmas.
And he also said it was appalling that Trump was thinking of pardoning the rioters, you know, who stormed the Capitol, and then he just did it himself. And you can't say he can't remember anything, because he did.
Although he pardoned him again yesterday.
Do you think it's because he's deaf, so whatever they say, he says, pardon?
Yeah. Exactly.
Very good. We've actually got that very same gag coming up a bit later, but we won't do it now because you've
No, do it. You did it
No,
better.
you'll say it better than I will.
No,
gang. Absolutely not. How has Joe Biden justified pardoning his son?
Well, he said, you know, I'm a little bit hard of hearing, so when people speak to me, I say, pardon. That's created a conundrum, isn't it, for the producers? What are they going to do now? You better have a go as well.
The pardon's obviously great news for Donald Trump. How did he use Thanksgiving to embrace people?
The president pardons a turkey.
But he didn't just pardon someone immediately. He also made them an ambassador.
Oh, really?
The turkey?
No, not the turkey.
Two talking.
Somebody's uncle, isn't it? Somebody he's related to, is their uncle or something, or their father-in-law?
So they're related, and now they're their ambassador.
Yes. I mean, shouldn't you make an ambassador to Turkey? A turkey. Everybody would get the joke.
Yeah.
That would be great. That would...
Here's your new ambassador.
Oh, we're going to go back, are we? OK. Oh, they've got yeah.
Just point, Mel's got an earpiece in, so she's been speaking to the producers.
Oh, I thought she was absolutely insane.
No, I'm sorry.
I thought I'd better explain.
Thanks, man.
I'd say she's got an earpiece and she actually hasn't got it.
Trump said on social media, "Happy Thanksgiving to all." Oh, that's very nice.
Yes, it's good.
Adding, including to the radical left lunatics who've worked so hard to destroy our country. Capping off a bad week for the Bidens. What has Jill been criticised for? This is quite sad.
What has she done?
Her White House decorations.
Oh, yes, they're rather lavish, aren't they?
Yeah. A spokesperson said they were themed around a season of peace and light, but have been described online as a tacky circus. Here they are. That's quite weird, isn't it?
You're going to have to explain what we're looking at, Mel.
Yeah, Jamie, I'm sorry.
It's an indoor carousel. It's sort of, like a deer and a cat.
We've got one of them.
Yeah. This is about 20 foot tall.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
So how did Trump get into the Christmas spirit?
Did he dress as Father Christmas
No.
and hand up? No, he didn't.
It's to do with turkeys as well. He posted this festive video. Have a look at this.
If this turkey tastes half as good as it looks, I think we're all in for a very big treat.
Save the neck for me, Clark.
Okay, Adam.
Jamie, if I describe to you what I've just seen, you will not believe me. But I'll give it a go.
Go on, then, please.
Jamie.
Yeah.
OK,
Yeah.
so... Quite obviously, artificial intelligence has put together this video of Joe Biden cuts in a turkey and a giant Donald Trump jumps out of the turkey and starts dancing to Village
YMCA.
People, YMCA.
You know, mocking the disabled.
I know. I know.
It's actually, I think it's a crime.
It is a crime.
So, you know.
Actually, all it was like a dog pissing up against a lamppost. That's all we looked at.
I can get.
Where else has it been a bad week for presidents?
Oh, Korea.
South Korea.
South Korea,
Yeah.
absolutely. Their president, Yoon Suk-yeol, didn't like the opposition parties trying to water down his budget.
Yeah.
So he went on TV at 11 p.m. to introduce martial law.
Yeah.
It's on ITV4 just after CSI Miami.
Yeah.
It was brilliant, though. And the MPs there, they refused to allow it.
Yes.
Why shouldn't we be that surprised by President Suk-yeol's actions?
He's done it before.
A bit more general, South Korean presidential stints have a history of ending in slight disarray
Do they?
and disgrace. Let me walk you through it.
Yes.
Here we go. Sung Man-ri overthrown, Young Bo-sun overthrown, Park Jung-hee assassinated, Choi Gyu-ha removed by military coup, Jun Do-hwan sentenced to death. No Tae-woo sentenced to 22 years in prison, Kim Yun-sam imprisoned, Kim Dae-jung sentenced to death, pardoned, won Nobel Peace Prize. No Hyun impeached, investigated for corruption, Lee Myung-bak sentenced to 15 years in prison for corruption, Park Geun-hye sentenced to 24 years in prison for corruption. Yeah, this is Joe Biden's shocking U-turn pardoning his son Hunter after repeatedly promising he wouldn't. The presidential pardon goes back all the way to the days of George Washington, who spared the lives of 2 rebels in 1795, an act of mercy that made a great impression on a young Joe Biden. Joe Biden's act of clemency towards his own son should come as no surprise, as every time anyone says anything to him, his immediate response is, pardon?
And do you think that's going to fool people at home?
Ian and Anushka, or Ianushka, as I like to think of you. Here is yours.
OK. OK, it's Keir with a huge Whitehall machine, which doesn't work.
He is getting ready for his plan for change.
Reset button.
That's Louise Haigh telling Keir Starmer about her fraud charge.
And that's a drone, and he's holding something.
You said reset. You're absolutely bang on the money.
There was a button marked reset, which we saw pressed.
They definitely went for the more literal picture there.
Didn't have to be Sherlock Holmes to get that, did you?
I didn't get it.
No, I didn't.
It's the Labour government's big relaunch after the previous reviews, resets and reboots didn't actually work.
He's been in power for about 5 minutes.
Yes.
And what I don't understand is why people They want to tell you what they're going to do rather than doing. Why doesn't he just do something?
This is like a Rishi Sunak
Yeah.
reset.
Yeah.
That's quite rude. Is it that bad?
Well, it's just quite... I mean, having sat through quite a lot of resets, it felt quite similar. He set out 6 things that he's going to do.
What were they called this time?
They were called milestones.
Yeah,
which are
milestones.
marginally different to missions.
We've got missions.
And then we've got our foundations.
What about headstones?
As John Crace in The Guardian put it, measurable milestones, most of us would settle for some basic signs of competence. And Labour sent one of their child MPs, Chris Curtis, to stick up for the government on Newsnight. But Victoria Derbyshire rather rudely drew attention to something unpleasant on his clothing.
That must be the sort of bogey on your shoulder.
Now, guys, did you hear Starmer trying to lighten the mood in a speech that he gave at Pinewood?
Well, he went to Pinewood to add some glamour, didn't he?
Yes. If you haven't seen it, you need to see this. This is Keir Starmer with a belter of a joke.
Yes.
You know, the leader of the opposition thinks that if you do a couple of shifts in MacDonald's, then you can become working class. So by that logic, if I keep coming back here, I could be the next James Bond.
Oh. 00 no.
I've got sand in my knickers. Do you know that feeling? Do you know that, Paul?
Which James Bond film is that? You have sand in your knickers, Mr. Bond.
Well, you weren't expecting that.
Yeah.
Keir's got a new cabinet secretary,
Yes.
hasn't he, who's going to help sort things out. Who is he?
He's called Sir Chris Wormold, and he's the first Tolkien character to be...
According to The Guardian, it sounds like he's going to fit right in. New top civil servant Chris Wormold is a safe pair of hands, but devoid of charisma.
Already they're complaining about the civil service, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Keir Starmer's learnt that this is what you do.
Yeah, I went to an event this week which was organised by The Spectator under the new editorship of Michael Gove, and I spoke to a number of Labour, both ministers and special advisors, and 4 of them said that Dominic Cummings, who worked for Boris Johnson and hated the civil service, was right about the civil service.
Some sick came up then when you said that. Just at the mention of Cummings.
Were there any cocktails served at the Spectator party, like sand in the knickers? Was that...
What is missing from Keir's pledges / priorities / milestones / targets?
Targets for immigration?
Labour's excuse was that the weather was very good over the summer. Really? He had a particular non-weather dependent strategy that he did mention a fair few times.
Was it smashing the gangs?
Absolutely. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Keir again. Oh dear.
Oh, Keir.
For me, that's 3 parts. The first is smashing the gangs, the criminal gangs, and a cross-border police force that can smash the smuggler gangs at sea. There are criminal gangs that are driving this, and we have to smash them. Unless and until we're more serious about smashing the gangs, time to smash these gangs.
What did Keir say this week about Britain's relationship with America and its other allies?
It's possible to be friends with both America and with Europe.
And given our powers of diplomacy, we can be enemies of both of them.
Yeah.
Now, Keir was making his foreign policy speech at the Lord Mayor's banquet in full evening dress. This might just be me, gang. Have a look at this. Does he remind anyone else in the room of the ventriloquist doll, Lord Charles?
OK, but that's not fair. Which is which? You silly arse.
Now, exciting times. We had the first cabinet resignation of the new government.
Yeah.
Transport Secretary Louise Haigh was forced to resign for not declaring a spent conviction. She says she told Keir about it years ago, but that didn't save her. The details were leaked to The Times, which commented the timing could not have been better, coming as the Commons prepared to vote on assisted dying, making it a good day to bury bad news.
Anyway, I mean, Keir had to fire her, a politician with a conviction.
Keir Starmer was absolutely shocked when he found out about what Louise Haigh had told him 4 years ago.
But surely we were told more detail had come to light.
Yeah, more detail, but however many times I asked, they wouldn't tell me what that extra detail was.
Yeah.
Do you think there wasn't any?
I think there were perhaps tensions between Louise Haigh and Keir Starmer.
Right.
And perhaps he was happy to let her go, and this gave him a reason.
So, having thrown Louise Haigh under a bus, how did Keir Starmer then leave Rachel Reeves hanging?
This was about her CV, wasn't it?
The thing about Rachel Reeves is not about the CV this time.
Oh, what's it about?
About taxes. Rachel Reeves and taxes.
Oh, yes.
It's about whether they will raise any more in the future.
Yeah.
On her CV, though, I actually live next door to someone who worked with her as an economist in the Bank of England. He sent me evidence. I sent it on to a person who was accusing her of lying, and they were like, it was about the time that she did it, apparently.
Oh, right.
I slightly lied on my Spotlight entry, you know, the thing for...
What, to get this job?
What did you say?
I think I said I could ride a horse.
Ah, yeah.
Everyone puts that, though, don't they?
Yeah.
If they want to be an actor, they say they can ride it. Jamie, have you ever lied to get any more?
Yeah,
on
I
your
had
CV?
to get my driving licence. That one backfired.
Well, despite all the criticism that Keir's government is really boring and inactive, shall we all have a little bit of Keir Christmas cheer?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Here he is, putting the fizz into Christmas, turning on the Downing Street lights.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! It worked.
Oh, he's the only one laughing! Also this week, the Labour government reverted to type and published a list of things that it wants to ban. What is it this time? What do they want to ban?
Was this porridge?
Yes, among other
crumpets.
things. Yeah. Labour wants to ban junk food adverts before 9 p.m.
Yes.
We're going to play a game, guys.
Yes.
We're going to play a game.
Yes.
The game I've devised...
Have you devised this?
No, I haven't.
No. And you can't ride a horse either.
That's another lie on my CV. It devises games.
Yeah.
Do you want to play a game, gang, of ban or scran?
Nice.
Anything from MacDonald's, ban or scran? Ian Hislop.
Good.
Oh, Paul.
Did you put on your CV quiz show host?
McDonald's ban, must be.
Absolutely. This is going really well.
Yeah,
2 points over there. Right. Probiotic yoghurt. Anushka.
Ban.
Is a ban because of all the flavours in the very flavoured ones. Right.
Did you put top scientist?
Now, this word I'm about to say is contentious.
Is it?
I say muesli.
Muesli.
What? Merton.
Muesli.
No, it's muesli.
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 You're the only one saying it.
I've got a friend in the audience who says muesli.
Well, I used to know somebody who pronounced discotheque as discotheque. That's how it's written.
That's great.
Discotheque. And somebody at school once said to the teacher, why have you written the word doing on the blackboard? He said, that's doing. Muesli has been banned.
Muesli has been banned. Too much sugar in the boxed version.
Yeah.
The last one in the quiz.
Yes.
Ban or scran? No,
We haven't heard it yet. Let them guess anyway. Go on, guess anyway.
Go on.
Scran.
Nice.
Yes, it's scran.
we are.
Sausage roll.
Sausage
roll.
roll.
It's scran.
I thought they were going to ban all rolls on the grounds that they might be Greg's.
Strong.
It caused actually a bit of tension in my house because my mum buys loads of crumpets, brings them round, gives them to us.
Lovely.
My husband hates crumpets.
Does he?
And out it came. He said that's an excuse to say no more crumpets in the house.
Oh.
Nice.
Well, that's a sad story for Christmas, isn't it?
No Christmas crumpet for you, Anushka. Now, according to the...
Is it within your power to issue such an order? I think you're taking this role of the quiz show host slightly too far. I think it's Ukrainian, isn't it? You're not Putin, you know. Or Putin, as you know.
It's gone to my head. It's gone to my head.
Your head.
This is the government's reset, which basically means Keir Starmer has turned the government off, then on again. At the reset launch of his plan for change, Keir Starmer suggested he might be the next James Bond. Mind you, according to her CV, Rachel Reeves has had some very odd jobs. According to the Daily Mail, Louise Haigh once had a fling with Nick Knowles. No wonder she ditched her old phone. So at the end of that round, 2 points each.
2 points each.
We haven't lost it.
Right.
Yeah, what's this then?
This is round 2.
Yeah.
Super excited about this.
Right.
It's the human dynamo of news.
Yeah.
I will literally generate a news story in audio-visual form, and you have to guess what it is. Fingers on buzzers, teens.
Well, we're looking at a picture of Greg Wallace, Jamie.
Yeah, I got it from the war.
Yeah. So this is the continuing awful story about Greg Wallace. More accusations are coming forward, more accusers are coming forward. The BBC are quite a bit of a bind with it, but other shows that he's been hosting or will host, which were going to go out, which like Christmas Celebrity MasterChef and Hunting with Dogs, that's they're not going to be shown.
Yes, this is the latest presenter scandal to hit the BBC. I mean, honestly, fancy broadcasting a cookery show where the presenters repeatedly resort to innuendo. So how did Wallace react to the initial allegations?
By making things worse.
Well, he put out the video on Instagram saying that
Yes.
he just annoyed a handful of middle-class ladies of a certain age.
Yeah, Greg Wallace has denied all wrongdoing.
I did Celebrity MasterChef earlier in the
you?
year, and I am
how
now... Well, it was very good, actually. I didn't win. And I'm now thinking when he said my beef was dry, if it actually wasn't a culinary thing at all.
Yeah.
It was a very rude invasion of me.
What did Greg Wallace once ask a sign language interpreter to do? According to The Guardian, at a live BBC Good Food event in 2012, Wallace asked an interpreter to sign sexy bum and big boobs. Although luckily when she made the sign for an enormous tit, it did still make sense because she was standing right next to Greg Wallace. Rod Stewart's been involved. He's sort of weighed in there. Do you know what he called Wallace?
Yeah, I mean, he was rude to Rod Stewart's wife.
Yes. Yeah, Rod claimed that Wallace humiliated his wife when she was on MasterChef and added, "You're a tubby, bald-headed, ill-mannered bully. Karma got ya." How have the BBC responded to the scandal?
Well, it ran the story on all news bulletins
Endlessly.
for days. And then
Yes.
it had special programmes about it afterwards, and then they showed MasterChef. After the news, they said, oh, we gave him a strict talking to. But it does sound like people did know about this a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a long time ago.
And Paul, you correctly said they've pulled all further programmes featuring Wallace from the Christmas schedule. What, no Wallace and Gromit, guys? Although the wrong trousers was often his excuse for undressing in front of people, so... in other depressing TV news, Jacob Rees-Mogg's reality show has been released. What did we discover that Jacob Rees-Mogg likes as a little snacky treat?
Is it members of the working classes? Just grilled lightly. I can't believe he's on television, a reality show.
I know.
He knows nothing about reality.
His diet consists of almost no vegetables, and his favourite snack is a Greg's chocolate eclair, which was a very different thing on the MasterChef set. Sticking with TV, Ian, did you spot anything interesting on Match of the Day this week?
Yeah.
The new Man United manager. Look at how large he is compared to his tiny little assistants.
Here in the Europa League on Thursday, there was improved method and move, but frailty too. Everton.
He's nearer the camera, they're further away.
I kind of figured it was going to be a disproportion thing.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Fingers on buzzers, team.
Yes.
Oh, nice hat.
This is about orcas.
Yeah.
They've been revealed to be followers of fashion.
Yeah.
There was a period, I think it was a couple of years ago, they all wore salmon on their heads.
Yeah.
And one of them did it, and all the others thought, God, that looks fantastic. I'm going to wear salmon on my... I went to a talk by a guy who does the whales and said it's extraordinary behaviour.
What do you mean you went to a talk by a man who does the whales?
What I wondered about that, the man who does the whales.
Ian.
What does he do?
I'd like you to meet Professor Hendricks. He does the whales. I do, and I study them at the same time.
A whale specialist, and he was talking just about fashion amongst whales, and they are just, if you don't wear the salmon, you're nobody.
Yeah. How does it stick it on its head?
What did the man who does whales, what did he have to say about that?
They stick them on with whale hat pins.
Where was this talk, Ian?
Yeah. Down the pub after closing time.
Should we have a little look at one?
Yeah, go on then.
Look at it, there it is on the front.
Well, it's not wearing it as a hat, is it?
Well,
I didn't ask it this year. Who's this in the royal enclosure? Why, it's Auger wearing a salmon as a hat.
to be fair, it's more of a fascinator than a hat.
Yeah, I go with that.
Do you know when this trend for wearing salmon hats first burst onto the fashion?
2017.
When John West went global.
Yeah. It's the hats that John West rejected.
It was 1987. It was a female killer whale in the United States, but by the following year, the fashion for fish hats abruptly ended.
Because it had never started.
Scientist Deborah Giles, head of the research team, did admit...
I've been drinking too much.
Honestly, we have no idea why this started, why it happens, or why it seems to be starting again. They've speculated that it could be the same whales from the 80s wearing the salmon hats in an attempt to relive their youth. This is apparently... They're going back...
This is just rubbish. Or it could be a tribute band.
Doing karaoke.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, no, that's good. That is strong.
It's terrible.
Karaoke. I like that.
Can you do it again in 5 minutes?
Finally, in other fashion news, what's unusual about Adidas's new trainers?
Whales have started wearing them. They're getting fed up of swimming. They're running along the ocean floor.
Shoppers have mocked a new line of trainers that come with detachable rubber fingers. Here they are. Sinister.
They look like sort of gloves for feet, essentially.
Don't they remind you of Feathers McGraw from Wallace and Gromit, slightly? Yeah. They're a collaboration with Swedish fashion brand Avavav, as in Avavav, you lost your mind. Fingers on buzzers, teams.
Right, we've got a jar of mayonnaise with a straw sticking out the top of it, which leads me to believe that this is a mayonnaise which you can drink through a straw.
Absolutely, this is the news. A shop in Japan is selling drinkable mayonnaise.
So we're just looking at some packaging and somebody pouring liquid mayonnaise into a glass.
Ian, would you drink mayonnaise?
Don't be silly.
OK. Paul, would you drink mayonnaise?
Only if it was offered to me by a whale wearing a salmon hat. Here you are, try this, mate. It's bleeding great.
Well, one reviewer commented it reminded him of the watery sauce left in the bowl after a salad, while another simply wrote, tipped it down the drain. In other food news, what surprise did one man get recently when he unwrapped his Mars bar?
Oh, I know this one. It was smooth.
Yes.
It had no ripples.
Oh.
Yeah, and he got £2 compensation from Mars.
Right.
Which does mean he did phone up and complain, like, what a psycho. Yeah.
Harry Seeger it was.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was very surprised to find the smooth Mars bar. Here it is. Have a little look. Weird.
It's a picture of a smooth Mars bar.
Well, blow me.
What were popular theories for the cause of a smooth Mars bar? Does anyone know?
A paedophile ring of billionaires trying to control the world.
Wales had flattened it out with a salmon, which they had previously worn as a hat.
Some suggested that it was a sign that Mars were preparing to get rid of the signature ripple.
Gosh.
While others suggested foul play, saying that the chocolate bar looked pre-licked. Jamie, you're absolutely right. Harry did complain to Mars. Harry said they were very secretive about it, but decided to compensate him for his ordeal with the sum of £2. He said, I think £2 is great. It'll be 2 free Mars bars. Why have Mars also been causing controversy with their advent calendars?
Well, you just get a bar in every one.
It's not that unusual.
Rather than 24 biblical illustrations.
No,
I don't know what the world's coming to.
No, I'm sure it's characters from the Bible enjoying a Mars bar. Here's Nebuchadnezzar stuffing his face with a Milky Way.
3 wise men arriving with gold, frankincense and myrrh.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mars actually does sell a celebration advent calendar. Do you know celebration?
Yes.
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 Which boasts a variety of different chocolates behind every door. One customer took umbrage with the calendar, saying, day 1 was a bounty, day 2 was a bounty. Oh, shit, day 3 is a fucking bounty as well. And...
Is that the Archbishop of York? Very upset.
This is the news that the Japanese have invented drinkable mayonnaise. The mayonnaise has apparently divided opinions. Some say it's awful, but others say it's absolutely disgusting. According to the Times, mayo may not be indigenous to Japan. Of course not, it's from Hellman's province.
Great joke.
Time now for the odd one out round. Just one between you this week. They are Kemi Badenoch, Anthony Albanese, Dolly Parton and Anushka Asthana.
Oh.
Is it that they've all written excellent books that would make great Christmas presents?
She's good. No, it's not.
The only thing wrong with that answer is you've got to find an odd one out.
It's not book-related, Anushka.
Is it ban-related? To do with bans, because he's the Australian Prime Minister, isn't he? And he, or whatever, they've banned social media. They've all banned their children from watching social media.
I'm going to tell you, they've all got a problem with technology, apart from Kemi Badenoch, who is a computer hacker. Ooh. Who did Kemi hack?
A Labour Party person?
Yes, absolutely right.
When she was a young activist working at MacDonald's.
It was...
Was it Harriet Harman?
Absolutely. She
Yes,
hacked into Harriet Harman's website. It was to say nice things about Tories. And how was this hacking story exposed?
Well, it was obvious you're saying nice things.
Badenoch told the story in an interview after being asked, what's the naughtiest thing you've ever done? Makes Theresa May's running through wheat fields like quite a sensible answer, doesn't it? She guessed Harriet Harman's password rather than showing any actual hacking intelligence. Do you want to guess what her password was?
Harriet.
Bingo.
Was it?
Yeah, according to the Daily Mail, the then Deputy Prime Minister of the United Kingdom's username was Harriet, and her password was Harman. Amazing to think they went on to lose the next election. What is Dolly Parton's preferred way of communicating? Classy, old school...
Is it a pigeon?
Fax.
Fax.
Oh. She told Vanity Fair, I don't text because I don't want to have to answer. I don't want to talk to everybody that wants to talk to me. Which is why the fax machine's only working 9 to 5. Thank you, thanks. Anushka, has Screeny ever given you the old Glitchingtons?
It freezes sometimes, and then I have to throw back to Robert.
Here's what you had to deal with, Anushka, on Peston back in April.
Thank you. I want to put that big polling gap between the Conservatives and Labour that I began with into historical context, because you might think this isn't... Oh, what's happening here? Oh, gosh. Oh, sorry, sorry, one sec. Let me try again. Let me try again. I'm hoping this works. Oh, no. Oh, dear, we've got a screeny glitch.
What should we do? Should we... We'll come back to you. We'll fix it. We'll fix it.
So then, unfortunately, they had to go back to Robert, disappointing the audience who were hoping for a 5-minute break from him. What's Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's big problem with social media? You touched on this, Jamie.
Well, I mean, he's banning it for kids.
Under 16.
Under 16s, yeah.
And how have the social media giants responded? A spokesperson for Snapchat said, swimming has risks, but we don't ban young people from the beach.
You can't swim on the beach. And you can't get in the sea because there's a fashion parade going on.
It seems a shame to deny young Australians social media and a chance to watch some of their nation's viral highlights, like this classic.
This is what you get when you leave the National Party in charge of water in Australia. Dead fish, a massive stink. Oh, sorry, I've got to stop.
And effectively it runs into the billions of fish. At the moment, numbers are saying hundreds of thousands to millions. This river system will run about another 150 kilometres. So if you have these type of kills up and down, you'll be talking of billions of fish being destroyed by this government. Any last words, Dick?
I feel sorry for Jeremy, I tell you.
Imagine throwing up over a hat simply because it's out of fashion.
Oh, I've gone a bit burpy after seeing that bloke. Does anyone else get that when you see someone else retching? I'm so sorry. Well, they've all got a problem with technology, apart from Kemi Badenoch, who's a computer hacker. Dolly Parton only keeps in touch with people via fax machine. It's also been revealed that NHS Wales still uses fax machines in their hospitals. Even more worryingly, they use them for dialysis. Anushka Asthana has suffered from glitches on Peston when using the show's interactive screen known as Screeny. I would say that makes her co-presenter Pesty, but that nickname is already taken over on MasterChef. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication, Fancy Pigeon World, the magazine of the National Pigeon Association, including one regular written feature that's very popular with pigeons, Nelson's Column. And we start with the big talking point at this year's Great Yorkshire Pigeon Show was when the Duke of Gloucester what?
Opened fire.
Flew out the window, crapped on a pigeon's head and said, how do you like it?
No, it's a simple one. It's quite a simple one.
Died.
Not died.
That would be a talking point.
Announced he was unable to attend.
Oh.
Yeah. The Duke of Gloucester did send his pigeon, though. In fact, that's how they got the message that he wasn't coming. Next, if you want to what this Christmas, you'll need a bottle of bubble bath and some underpants.
Get on, MasterChef.
It's actually if you want to disappoint your loved ones with their gifts. This is according to a poll which revealed bubble bath and underpants are the least popular Christmas gifts. Although from what I hear, this Christmas someone should really buy Greg Wallace some underpants. And that one was better, what Jamie did.
Yeah,
it's all right, lads, don't worry, it's all good.
And they applauded.
It's all good.
Yeah.
OK.
In the bank. Yeah.
No, I thought we should do the pardon joke again.
What, Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
I thought of it earlier, but I didn't want to risk the audience's wrath.
Next, Nigel the Nutter recommends spicing things up by what?
Nigel the Nutter recommends spicing things up by sleeping with the occupants of Swindon in alphabetical order. Starting with the Adams at number 24.
It's adding Vimto to your pigeon's water.
Vimto, famously an anagram of vomit. Oh, I shouldn't have said that to you, should I?
I
shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry I brought it up. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
Finally, nativity scene in Gloucestershire surprises locals by featuring hot.
Clive Myrie.
Is it the Duke of Gloucester?
The Duke of Gloucester. It's Jesus as a baguette. Yeah.
Lest we baguette.
Here is the nativity scene in a bakery in Gloucestershire. Oh.
Well, the freeze-wise men seem to be potatoes. Are they potatoes or baps?
I think they're baps.
Now, I'm not saying anything against the basic tenets of the Christian faith, but it looks like the Virgin Mary's a bit of a fruitcake.
Junior, he has risen. So the final scores are Ian and Anushka have 4 points. Paul and Jamie have 5 points.
Well done.
But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
Naked man with a cat's head.
Oh, after backlash, emergency rebrand of Jaguar.
On which note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Anushka Asthana, Paul Merton and Jamie MacDonald. And I leave you with news that in Florida, after agreeing to undergo a full medical examination before taking up office in January, the president-elect is told his proctologist is ready to begin.
It's a man with his hand up Donald Trump's arse.
At a farmer's market in Dorset, one man regrets not bringing a bigger bag as a shop assistant helps him pack his fillet. And in London, after the assisted dying bill is passed into law, the first person to be euthanised gets the dignified send-off they hoped for.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1...